Ilio guys, and welcome back. Hope everyone's doing well. But in today's video we have a special treat. Now this was a count review that should have been done a bit ago, but you know, that's water under the bridge right here. But in today's video we do have ItsSG, who is, I would probably consider like a veteran of the Discord. Dude has been around quite a while. Very interesting dude. Very smart and 5-head, unlike me, who is a pure 3-headed Pepega. If you understand those terms, then I'm proud of you. But let's go ahead and give his account a go. Alright, so starting off here, we can see, I just wanted to point out to you guys that I believe SG did this purposely. He totally memed his account up. He's sitting at literally one gold right now. 1 gold. He's at 6,666 Astro Gems. He's at 69 PvP tickets, and he has 433 energy. Like, the only thing that could top this off would be if his account was at level 69 as well. But let's go ahead and actually change things up here, and let's take a look at what he's working with in terms of like PvP and golems, etc. before we take a look at his mon box. Alright, so we're over here in the PvP part of things, and right now I can see two super evoed Genes. I'll just call it Gene. He's starting off with a Water Vic lead and then also a Succubus. So it looks like Succubus and Gene together are trying to like mitigate damage from each other depending on what they're fighting, and obviously I'm sure that he changes in between fights, unlike me. Wood Gene's probably there for nuking, and obviously Water Victoria is there to apply the defense down debuffs against everyone. But of course, like I said before, you know, this could change up depending on who he's fighting. But this seems to be the squad right here, and I'm not going to do a PvP match just because. But let's take a look at his defense as well. So this level 51 tried to stomp him with his Evo 2 Imperito, but his defense party is a Dark Marlin, a Water Wildfang, a Wood Indra, Fire Artemis, and then a hidden Light Imperito, which, you know, is reasonable right there. But what I'm really interested in is taking a look at that Wood Indra, dude, because I've been wanting a Wood Indra for a while now, because there was a point in time where Wood Indra wasn't really viable, but with things changing as of recent, I do feel like he's a better choice than what he was before. It's just that before it was like Draca's out, so why even bother bringing him in there? But let's take a look at his Titans teams if we can. Alright, we can't take a look at Titans because Titans is down at the moment, but what golems is he on? Is he on B11? Is he on B15? He has Water Wildfang, not Water Wildfang. So for his golems team, he has Water Victoria, there's Fire Wildfang, Dark Wildfang, and then Dark Lucy. Alright, so we just finished up Golems B11 here. I'm not sure if this was the Golems B11 team, but I figured I would give it a run, and it stopped at 1:47 right there. But what I will indicate to you guys is that there's no like dedicated wave clears here. There's no sappers or anything. This is like legit brute force. So it's interesting to see Mons used in a more like nuker situation still being used in golems. Once again, I'm not sure what team this was meant for, but I figured I would give it a try, and they perform fine. Alright, moving on next, so let's go ahead and take a peek at his dimensional dungeon team. SG has been grinding hard, man. He's just got more soul stones than I do, for sure. So you know, what a shame. But this is for the Dark Dimensional Dungeon. He's rocking that Water Vic lead, man. That Water Vic must be super duper spicy, man. There's Light Gene, Light Varana, and then also Dark Imperito. And let's go ahead and give it a go and see how they perform, because we're here already, boys, so why not? Well, the proof is in the pudding, you guys. This team is absolutely just wrecking. You can see that damage coming from Light Varana and also Dark Imperito. And honestly, Light Gene is doing a little bit better than I honestly expected her to do. But there's 100% no problem doing auto with this group at all. Good God. That's a lot of damage. So yeah, you can kill Water Vic, but you're gonna die anyways. That was quite spicy, man. Absolutely spicy. Alright, so we're over here at SG's box. He has 476 Mons out right now out of 500, which I'm not going to go through all of them because that is sad face gaming right here. So first, let's go over here and take a peek into storage real quick and see what he's working with. So starting from the third storage, I like to sort my Mons by element because I am weird like that, and I just like to have all the colors together, since, you know, normally the Mon that has the same element or a similar element, which there's no similar element, but the same element usually has like a similar color scheme, so it just makes me happy. But let's take a look what he has over here. So nothing too extravagant. There's a light Shiva sitting in here, Dark Sanzang. I also have to put ItsSG on my ban list. If you haven't joined the Discord yet, join the Discord, because if you have a Light and Dark Nat 5 that is not from a contract, you can be put on the ban list for the Discord too. I myself, even as a Discord owner, am on my own ban list, so come over and check it out so you can get on that ban list too. But Light Shiva, there's Dark Sanzang. Dude is ready for the freaking Canlings, man. He's like, oh, Canlings coming back? Don't worry, fam. Not a problem at all. Shelly Gang, 2 wood vampires. He's working on 3 wood vampires? All of these freaking light Julys? What? SG, what are you doing? No, it's for fusion. There's 2 fire bats. There's some gen action. I see a Poseidon. A variant Gilgamesh, light Minicats, light Katines. There's even a Dark Venus up in there. Okay, nothing too spicy. Nothing too spicy at all. And let's be Weird Champ and start from the bottom again, because I like doing that. Okay, this is a whole bunch of fodder, which is good to know. But yeah, let's go ahead and start from the bottom here. SG also seems to have like multiple copies of Mons, so that may save time in terms of checking things out. But let's go ahead and be nosy. Like, he has 2 Dark Mr. C's. There's a Dark Katine. 4 Dark Thors. Some of them are gems, some of them are not. Let's take a look at this Dark Thor though. He's not booked up. I don't think any of them are booked up. Okay, 2 of them actually booked up, but this one doesn't have any gems on him, even though he is enhanced. Let's take a look at this one though. So there's a crit rate gem, crit rate gem, crit damage gem. This review is over. Goodbye. Alright, there's a Dark Kana here. Dark Tina, she's on a ruin set. Let's take a look at what Tina is rocking with. So she has an attack gem, 13% crit rate and 16% resist. Crit rate gem with 24% resist and 12% attack. And then also an attack gem with 19% crit rate and 18% resist. Enhancements wise, defense, crit rate, attack, crit resist, and HP. Still solid. I mean, she hits her criteria for max crit, so she does benefit from that additional damage of being not only a Darkmon, but also the benefit of Hunter, and she's fully booked up as well, so as a wave clearer, she's perfectly fine. Oh, he has a variant Dark Hohenheim. Wish that was me. And she's almost fully booked up as well. Let's take a look though. So there's a crit rate gem. Not too good subs up there, but that's honestly the last thing I worry about. There's an attack gem with 18.5% crit rate up there, and then there's a crit damage gem with 12.5% crit rate and 22% resist. Enhancements wise, she has defense, HP, attack, and then crit rate. She's almost at 100%. I'm sure with like getting a better crit rate gem for her is all that's holding her back, and that's pretty much it. Pretty solid build. I mean, crit damage, attack, don't get me wrong, is a very, very wonderful build. You get a ton of damage, especially if your Mon is a dark type, but they are extremely hard to build especially when it comes to ruin. So if you don't see a ton of those scattered around multiple accounts, like not just SG's account, but multiple accounts, it's for a reason. You have to have really good subs, and that takes a lot of luck. There's a Dark Mijo over here. She's sitting at 82% crit rate though, and 29% resist. HP gem of 13.5% crit rate and 17% resist. Another another HP gem with 13% crit rate, and then a crit rate gem, which, I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. There's no way that would be that high without a crit rate gem. And looking at the HP, I was like, okay. There's also a Dark Medusa. She's fully booked up as well, but I'm not going to waste my time going over her. Dark Cherry. You guys should know by now what your healer should be on, and if you don't know, you're about to find out. So he has a defense gem on her with a recovery sub. There's some resist and 20.5% crit rate, though it doesn't matter. There's a defense gem with 8% resist. And then there's a HP gem up there. So she's rocking defense, HP. That makes sense. Taking a look at her recovery is pretty poggers. Just making sure he's not slipping up here, man. There's also Dark Sparket, fully booked up. He's on a broken set, but he's sitting only at 48% resist, so he may not be in use anymore. There's 2 Dark Sea Stars. Is there more? Nope, there's just 2 Dark Sea Stars. Let's take a look at this one, though. She's sitting at 98% crit rate. This is no enhancements either. So she has a defense gem up there, 13.5% crit rate. Another defense gem with 20% crit rate. And then a crit rate gem. So this one's more of a DPS build, C-Star. Fully booked up as well. Probably just using World Boss, which is understandable. Have a great day. Let's see if this one follows suit. So yeah, that one has a crit rate gem up on her as well. We won't bother with that. There's a Dark Yuki. She's fully booked up. I need to book up my other 18 Dark Yukis, but she has an HP gem on her with nearly 20% attack. There's an attack gem with 24% resist. And then there's the defense gem with 12.5% attack up there. A little bit of crit damage as well as crit rate. So she is on a bruiser build. So, you know, she gets a touch of everything. And even though she's a tank type and you can build her with plenty of HP, since she is a dark type, you can take advantage of her crit damage, but just note that it's not always the biggest focus, because with SP Siphon and Sap, you're not going to do dangerously high crits like you would if she had Hunter and Sap or something of that nature. So keep that in mind. It is possible to build her more DPS orientated. I do have a couple that are DPS orientated, but don't be looking for big numbers with a mon that's more for CC and sapping. Moving on next, though, we have Dark Marlin. He's sitting at 83% resist right there. Wow. Look at that, boys. Look at that. Fully booked up. Oh my goodness. He's triple Square Master Race. HP gem of 13.5% defense as well as 23% resist. Another HP gem of 13% defense, 21% resist, and then 13% crit rate. And then a defense gem. So HP defense. That's what I would do too. There's an attack gem with 21% on it, 14% crit rate, and then 13% resist. Beautiful. Let's take a look at these enhancements though. So there's crit resist, defense, and HP. So he wants to make him as tanky as possible, just to make sure that he can maximize making sure that Merlin's out there on the field so he could, you know, CC. And then for his super ascension skill, he has combat prowess, which attacks have a 50% chance every 2 turns to siphon 15% of the enemy's SP, which may stack, I'm assuming, with his base SP, which already takes out 35%. So if it procs at the same time that he's doing his SP siphon, he could potentially take 50%. And I mean, the real money right here is if he can hit the targets with a stun, and that move procs, there's also a chance of him taking everyone's SP away once that move procs with the stun. So not only are you getting stunned, and if you somehow ignore that stun, with having that SP siphon on everyone, there's a chance that, okay, you didn't get stunned, but too bad you can't do your active. GG. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Dark Fib. Dark Misha. On a conviction set. Let's take a go at this. Defense gem with 14% attack and then 19.5% crit rate. Another defense gem with 27% crit rate. And then defense gem with resist and crit rate as well. Vengeance. Increase attack in proportion to amount of health lost. 78% resist and nearly 90% crit rate. See, there's defense, HP, crit resist, and crit rate, as well as crit damage. So it seems to me that he's more so relying on making sure that Misha survives enough for Vengeance to activate and hopefully get some damage off, versus going complete glass cannon, which makes perfect sense, because no matter what skill your Ashramon has, if they are actually dead, then they are actually dead, and congratulations, your Mon is useless. So very different build, man. Very, very different build. It's hitting a little bit different here, but I haven't honestly used Dark Misha. Not that it's a bad Ashramon, it's just that other Mons exist, so I can't really say that this isn't pro gamer or not. We got a Dark Odin here. She's on a HP set. The life set right here. Nothing fancy going on with her, but she is variant. There's two Dark Suras. One's fully booked up, one is in the progress of being booked up, but he's sitting at 84% crit rate and 29% resist. He has a crit rate gem on him with 23.5% attack. There's a defense gem of 14.5% crit rate and 23% resist. And then there is an attack gem of 13.5% crit rate and defense. And a little bit of crit damage as well. So that was, what was that? Crit rate, defense, attack. Dark Moonflower, she's on a broken set right here, but not enhanced. Still a great Mon to have. If you guys don't have a Dark Moonflower, I'm sorry, but yeah, she's wonderful. She hits like a complete F word, and yeah, I have no complaints about her other than her needing a super evolution so she can do even more damage. Dark Harley, she is on a ruin set. Let's take a look at these gems though. Attack gem, crit rate gem, and then a crit damage gem. So maybe she's a work in progress, and maybe he'll tighten up on her later, but she's not super duper necessary in most content, because I mean, Elemental Edge is nice on a dark type, and so is Predator, but what you have to give in order to get her is kind of sucky in my opinion, when you could definitely go for the water one instead, because if you're lacking water courageous strikers, well, congratulations. You now have a courageous striker that's worth your sacrifices. Dark Rudolph, who does have books now, she's on a broken set. Dark Tito, not even 100% crit rate, dude. Wow, man. Just wow. Dark Bulby, fully booked up. She's sitting at 81% crit rate and then 27% resist. Dark Sandwraith, let's take a go at him though, because he's sitting at over 100% crit rate, 31% resist, and 21% crit resist, but he does have enhancements on him. So he has an HP gem with 20.5% crit rate. There's an attack gem with 18% crit rate. And then there is a crit rate gem. So crit rate, HP, attack, just to get some damage out of him, but also some survivability. And that crit rate gem does have 21.5% defense. And then there's also the protection set alone, just to kind of round out his stats a little bit and hopefully get some more survivability out of him completely. Enhancements wise though, he has just attack and HP at the moment. Okay. Dark Lupin, still an Ashramon that I want, because I think Dark Lupin looks like a boss. He's sitting at 83% crit rate though, fully booked up. Let's take a look at these gems. Crit rate gem, attack gem, and then another attack gem. So crit rate, attack, attack. Alright, let's go over here to the spicy bits though. We have Snow White over here, aka Lucy. She is on an SP Siphon set, fully booked up. Enhancements wise, she's coming in with some defense, attack, crit damage, some HP, and some resist. So she has an attack gem with 20% resist and 13% crit rate. Another attack gem with 26% crit rate. And then a crit rate gem with 17% resist up there. And I mean, she's at max crit rate, dude. Crit rate attack on SP Siphon. I mean, doesn't really get any better than that. Not at all. And I mean, Hunter's up there to start her off with, so she will be hitting quite hard and then expose weakness. That could prove to be very, very useful. I actually never thought about that. Then we have Dark Shadow over here. I don't know why I called him Dark Shadow. Shadow is always dark. We don't talk about that. He is in the process of getting booked up though, and he is variant as well. He has an HP gem on him with 21% crit rate and 16% resist. A crit rate gem with 14% resist and 13.5% defense. And then a defense gem with 25% resist. I wonder why the crit rate though, just to get some additional damage out of him, even though he's on Bastion. He doesn't have any trinkets on him at the moment either, and his resist is already pretty high. I'm assuming the goal is to get some damage out of him, especially once attack up is applied to everyone, but also just to make sure that he survives long enough for Battle Rush to go off so he can get that attack up applied, because his stats are a little bit frail, especially as an attacker type, as you guys can see right here. So I'm just trying to get in the mind of SG. And then enhancements wise, he does have some crit rate, some resist, some defense, attack, and HP. Moving on next though, we have Dark Imperito. He is on a ruin set. Let's take a look at these gems though. There's an attack gem of 15% resist, 14% crit rate, and 13% crit damage. There's an attack gem of 20% crit rate and 22% resist. So that was attack, crit rate. Okay. And this crit rate gem has 32% resist up there. That is spice. Overall, some great subs. Very great subs. Spicy. Enhancements wise though, there's defense, crit rate, crit damage, crit resist, HP, and also attack. And he's super evoed. Not super evoed, but super ascended. And he has a chance to proc a shield that grants the user a shield proportional to their own max attack power, which he has plenty of attack. So this could add some more survivability to him. And also, boys and girls, I'm not sure if you can see this, but where is it at? Help. Help. I'm hitting the wrong button. Fully booked up. Fully booked up. Battle Rush is going to hit like an F word. It doesn't increase at all, but it is fully booked up. Hunter is also increased with a 20% damage increase, and it looks like it goes to 50%. Beautiful. Variant 2, he's flexing on us, man. There's also Dark Mijo. We went over her though. This one's just super evoed, not super duper into that. There's Dark Hana. She's sitting on an intuition set, and with her recent changes, she is more viable than ever. He does have some books going on her at the moment, but let's take a look at these gems though. So there's a defense gem with some recovery. There's another defense gem, no recovery on this one, but nearly 20% HP on that sub. And then another defense gem with 26% crit damage and a little bit of resist. And it looks like he's put her on an intuition set just to boost up her crit damage. Not her crit damage, but her crit rate, hopefully in the future. But she seems to be a work in progress. But overall, she's quite solid with her recent buff. Enhancements wise though, there's crit damage, there's some defense, recovery, and then also some HP. Here's the second Dark Yuki. She's fully booked up as well. This one's super evoed and enhanced. Let's take a look at these gems. She has an attack gem on her with 13.5% crit rate. There's an HP gem with 20.5% attack and 12% crit rate. And then there is another HP gem with 13.5% attack and 16% resist. So what was that? HP, attack? We have Dark Vic over here, fully booked up, super evoed. Let's take a look at these gems. There's an attack gem with 35% resist. Very, very spicy. Very spicy. And then 13.5% crit rate up there. There's another crit rate gem with 15% resist and 13% defense. And then an HP gem. So crit rate, attack, HP. Enhancements wise, there's resist, defense, crit resist, and attack. I'm not sure how much she's being used now. I know back in the day, especially for like the baby dragons now, she was a very, very popular pick. I personally don't have one, and her kit is interesting, and it definitely could be super useful, at least in the Elemental Tower of Chaos. But in terms of everything else, I'm not sure how useful she is nowadays with her only 1 turn stun. And while her defense down is great, the 1 turn stun is kind of could be better, IMO. Next up though, we do have Dark Wildfang. She is on SP Siphon set, and let's take a go at her. So she is fully booked up. She has an attack gem with 14% crit rate, another attack gem with 21% resist, and then 15% crit rate, and then another attack gem with 19% crit rate, and then 14.5% defense. Let's see, Stalker goes to, I believe, 50%? Yeah, it goes to 50%. And she's already at 50% crit rate from her gems alone, so that makes sense. Very, very easy to build on the Siphon set. Extremely easy to build. Okay. There's a Dark Mona. She's not on the SP Siphon set. She's on the gem of Magi, whatever the heck you want to call it. But she's fully booked up. Let's take a look at these gems though. There's a crit rate gem, 22% resist, attack gem, and then an attack gem with a little bit of crit rate up there as well. So maybe she's a work in progress, but not necessary when you have 2 Dark Wildfangs, in my opinion. Let's take a look at this baby girl though. She's on a Ruin set, fully booked up. She has the same super ascension skill as Dark Imperito, which is the attack based shield, which synergizes nicely with her already naturally high attack stat. So she has a attack gem of Ruin on her Ruin set, with 13.5% crit rate and 16% resist. There's another attack gem with 13.5% crit rate and then 16% resist. Is that the same gem twice, bruh? I mean, one is a flat defense sub and the other one is a percent defense sub, but still, man. And then a crit damage gem to go and top her off. So, and that one has 26% resist up there. Spicy, dude. And she's over 50% for her Stalker. Congratulations, dude. She's pimped out. Enhancements wise though, there's crit, resist, HP, crit rate, attack, defense, and also resist. Nearly pushing max on these bad boys. Beautiful, dude. Absolutely beautiful. Alright, moving on next. So we can take a go at the light Mons here. So he has plenty of light Wendigos. I still have 0. Waiting on you, Light Wendigo. Where you at, man? But let's take a look at these Mons though. There's a Light Siegfried that's in the process of getting Evo 3. There's a Light Vampire. What is his moveset? Oh yeah, still garbage. A Light Mr. C, almost Evo 3 though. I definitely do need to pick one up for sure. There is a Light Venus over here. She is on a broken set. But let's take a look at her gems though. HP gem, 13% resist up there. Another HP gem with 13% recovery and 13% defense. And then another HP gem with 19.5% defense. Okay. Light Nightmare. She's on a broken set, but she has SP Siphon and then also resistance down. There's an HP gem, 15% resist. Defense gem. And then also another defense gem. That was HP, defense, I do believe. Yep. Light Wildfang. This dude has 85 different light and dark Wildfangs, while I still have 0. Imagine having a light or dark Wildfang, bro. Imagine that. Anyways, though, she has an attack gem up there with 20% resist. Not 20% resist, 20% defense and 17% resist. Close. There's a crit rate gem with 11% crit damage and 17% resist. And then there's also a crit damage gem with 13.5% crit rate. She's sitting at 75% crit rate though. And then 49% resist. But she doesn't have any enhancements on her. She's not super evoed. So maybe she's just there for world boss. 2 Light Sherlocks. 2 of them. What is this? One's fully booked up though. Let's take a look at her gems though. So she has a defense gem. Nothing extravagant on that one. An HP gem. Once again, nothing extravagant. And then also another defense gem with 15% resist. So her main selling point, even though she is an attacker type, is make sure that she can at least survive to do her exposed weakness, because she's not going to do any damage with her exposed weakness. Light Sparkit over here. He is on a Ruin set. There's Light Imperito. He has Fiery Resolve for her Super Ascension skill, which grants a 40% chance when getting attacked to increase his own attack power by 50% for one turn. He is also on a Pugilist set, pushing 84% resist. Oh my goodness. So there's a defense gem with 12% attack and 24% resist. There's another defense gem with 16% resist and 13% crit rate. And then there is a HP gem with 18% resist and 12.5% defense. I don't want to fight this. It has some resist, crit resist, HP, crit rate, and then attack and defense subs. Yeah, I don't want to fight this. I really don't, because if I hit him and it does proc with shock, it's not going to do amazing damage, but it's still going to do some damage, and it's going to be super duper annoying. Especially if this boy ever gets some books on him as well. And then we have a Light Shinobi over here on a Valor set, fully enhanced as well. Enhancements wise though, he has defense, HP, crit damage, there's some resist, crit rate, and also some attack, so he has a good mix of everything. But he has an attack gem on him with 15% crit rate and crit damage. There's a crit rate gem with 20% crit damage. And then also another attack gem with 21% crit rate and 16% resist. Definitely some good rolls. Some very good rolls right there. There's a Light Draka. Broken set as well, 30% resist and sitting at 85% crit rate. Light Varana. She's super ascended and she does have devastating strike on her, which increases critical hit damage by 25% against enemies with lower defense. Hence why he was definitely using Water Victoria to take advantage of that. We see what you're doing, SG. We see what you're doing, man. Over here, Big Braining. Unfortunately, there's books being applied to her, but they've been going into shock instead of puncture, which isn't the end of the world. I'm sure that she's going to get there, but already SG's amount of freaking books on his Nat 5s is just gross. But she has an attack gem of 31% resist up there and 12.5% crit rate. There's a crit rate gem of 13.5% defense and 14% resist up there, and nearly 20% attack. And then there's an attack gem with 29% resist and 10% for HP. So what was that again? There's attack, crit rate, attack. Okay. Enhancements wise though is defense, HP, crit damage, attack, and then also crit resist. Once again, sprinkling all them stats around there. But I mean that's really good, dude. That's really good. Especially her breaking 10k attack. She's sitting at 12k right here. Makes puncture smiley face damage. I see some Light Nezas over here. There's Light Loki, Light Minicat, also some Light Pixies. Let's take a look at this one, because why not? Let's take a look at this Light Pixie. She's fully booked up. I definitely do need to pick one up once she comes back around again, because she is smiley face in terms of Titans. But let's take a look at her enhancements first, which is HP. There's defense and some recovery. And then on her healer set, she has, even though it's flat, nearly 20% recovery up there. Then a recovery gem of 15% resist. And then a defense gem of 14% resist. Okay. There's some baby shark doos. And I'm just going to pick this one because why not? Fully booked up. There's some enhancements on them though. There's resist, defense, and HP at the moment. And on a recovery set. So there's an HP gem of 22% resist. There's another HP gem of 21% recovery up there. And then there's another HP gem with 15% resist and then 6.5% recovery. Moving on though, we do have Light Cupid. He is pushing 83% resist and 100% crit rate. Spicy already. So he has a defense gem up there, 28.5% crit rate up there and 14.5% recovery. Beautiful, 8% resist. There's another defense gem with 28% crit rate and 16% resist. Is this like the same freaking gem, dude? What the hell? And then there's another defense gem. So he has triple defense. And max crit. Not max crit, but you know, max crit rate. That is smiley face. In terms of his enhancements though, there's crit rate, crit damage, HP, defense, and then resist as well as some more defense. That is a beautiful Light Cupid. Beautiful. There's also a Light Lucy. We got a Light Odin over here. Light Misha. Light Cura. And she's sitting at 80% resist. What's going on here though? What's going on here? Fully booked up. She does have some addition to her shock as well as dominance, getting a recovery up increase. That's dominance, right? Okay, yeah. Let's take a look at her gems though. So she has an HP gem with 14% resist and 13.5% recovery. There's a defense gem with 22% resist, and then another HP gem with 13% defense. Curious to where she's being used at though, because shock could be useful. Dominance, I'm not a big fan of, but if you can use it right, it can be quite useful. We also see a Light Kiki. There's also Light Cherry, an Evo 3 Silver, 36% resist up there, and there's 25,000 Light Wendigos. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ten Wendigos. 10. What are you doing with 10 Wendigos, man? What are you doing? There's also like Leo over here. He's on a pugilist set. Let's take a peek at him though. He's sitting at 87% crit rate. No resist on him at the moment. Not a big deal if he's being an offensive mon versus defensive, at least in my opinion. But he has an attack gem up there with 18.5% defense, a little bit of crit rate gem with 18% crit damage. And then an HP gem with 21.5% attack. Okay. He is a bit of a frail boy, so I could definitely understand why he's built that way. There's some Phoenix over there. Light Yaksha. There's this Wendigo right here. He's super ascendant, so I'm going to say he's the definitive version of the Wendigos. But enhancements wise though, he has defense. There's some crit rate, resist, HP, and also some crit damage. Fully booked up. Obviously the super ascension with fiery resolve. And gem wise, he has a crit rate gem on him with 14% attack, 13% defense, and then 15% resist. There's an attack gem with 15% crit damage and then 23% resist. And then there's another attack gem with 21% resist, 12% defense, and then 13.5% crit rate. Beautiful. Moving on to Light Sig, he is on a broken set at the moment, working towards that Zeal set, I do believe. No books on him, but enhancements wise, he has crit rate, there's HP, attack, crit damage, and also just regular old flat defense. But there's a crit rate gem on him with 28% defense, an attack gem, which is probably just a placeholder right now. And then another attack gem with 13.5% crit rate, and then not 13 but 19% crit damage. I do see 2 Light Sarahs over here as well. No books though, man. No books. Moving on though, we have good old Light Griffin. He does have some books applied to it, but not many. More than me though. Trying to get that boost in morale boost. And maybe resistance down, but we'll have to see though. Let's take a look at these gems though. There's HP gem with 19.5% crit rate. Another HP gem with 14% crit rate and then 16% resist. And then a defense gem with 21% crit rate, and then 8% resist, as well as 14% HP. Nothing too extravagant. He seems to be more DPS-like. I'm not sure though. Maybe it's kind of in like a transitional period where maybe SG was using it at some point in time, and then it was like, F it. You know, I'm just going to leave it like this. But there's defense, attack, resist, crit resist, defense, and HP. Here's the other light Siegfried, because there's a couple of them. That one's on a broken set. This one's on a ruined set with 100% crit rate. All kinds of attack. Let's take a look at this one real quick though. So crit rate, attack, and 20% crit damage on that gem. Absolutely beautiful. Enhancements wise though, there's attack, defense, HP, crit rate, crit damage, and also attack. And then this other bad boy, not super evoed, but super ascended with fiery resolve once again. No triangle slot, but it's not the end of the world, at least in my opinion. But 85% resist on this bad boy. 85, so this is definitely probably a front lane Siegfried, and 100% crit rate. So there's a crit rate gem of 13% resist. There's an attack gem with 13.5% crit rate and 24% resist. And then there's another attack gem with 13.5% crit rate. Splendid, dude. Alright, let's take a look at this Jean, though. She is sitting at 100% crit rate and 83% resist already. Beautiful. Beautiful. But she has an HP gem on her with 15% crit rate and 25% resist. Another HP gem with 19% defense, 24% resist. A little bit of crit rate up there. Very, very little. And then another HP gem of 26.5% crit rate. And you can see right here, like, in terms of her gems, there's nothing super duper like groundbreaking, but she still is pumping out max crit rate, triple HP, and resist. Enhancements wise though, there's crit damage, HP, crit rate, and then some more resist, and they're all maxed out, man. Holy crap. He is not planning for that Jean. She's super evoed, fully booked up. No super ascension skill, but I'm sure it's probably in the works, man. Then there's also Light Hana over here. She is super evoed and fully booked up. Let's take a look at her gems though. HP gem with 21% crit rate and 16% resist. Another HP gem of 22% resist. And then another HP gem with nearly 20% crit rate and 6% resist. But she's sitting at 85% resist. Where's it coming from though? Because that's 16. She starts off with 30. Okay. I'm tracking now. I'm tracking. But in terms of enhancements though, there's crit rate, recovery, defense, and HP. I got you, man. I got you. Then we have a Light Suck, fully booked up. She's on a protection set, rocking 85% resist. Enhancements wise though, there's crit resist, defense, HP, and then some more resist. So HP gem with 20.5% defense and 16% resist. Another HP gem with 13.5% defense and 18% resist. And then a triple HP on a defensive set with 35% resist. So she has a whole bunch of HP, and still some solid defense. There's a Light Mijo. She's pushing 61% resist, but I'm not going to get too into her. There's also a Light Vic, Light Banshee. She's not a broken set, but she seems to be in a mix in between crit rate and also resist. There's a Super Evo Light Boltwing, which I'm going to go ahead and click this right here because I haven't seen him like in person. He is pretty though, I will say that. Definitely a small boy, but 81% resist up here, also on a broken set at the moment, so maybe a work in progress. Wildfang over here, fully booked up. This is his second Light Wildfang, super evoed. Enhancements wise, she has crit resist, HP, attack, defense, and some more resist. On a broken set though, but even with that broken set, 85% resist and 100% crit rate. I mean, come on here, come on. So there's an attack gem with 12% crit rate, 12% defense, and then 21% resist. Crit rate gem with 20% attack up there and 17% resist. And then another attack gem with 11% crit damage and then 22% resist, as well as 14% crit rate. Okay. And she is variant as well, so she can take advantage of her leader skill if needed. There's the second Light Leo, but this one is on a broken set and not pugilist, but this one's super evoed. Enhancements wise though, he has attack, defense, HP, crit resist, and then crit damage. Let's take a look at these gems though. So there's an attack gem with 20.5% crit rate. There's a crit rate gem of 19% defense, 14% resist. And then there's an attack gem with 6.5% crit rate and then 16% resist. So that was attack, crit rate, attack. Okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down. And then last but not least for Light Mons, we have Light Yuki over here. Super evoed, fully booked up. Obviously, you guys have noticed by now I haven't been talking about trinkets because while they do vary in stats and some are a little bit more varied than others, overall the gist of it is that you should be rocking hopefully max trinkets, if not super duper rare trinkets on your Astromons. Even if it's only 5-star in terms of rarity for your trinkets, perfectly acceptable. Perfectly acceptable. But let's take a look at Light Yuki. So she has an HP gem on her with 16% resist, 13% crit damage, and 20% crit rate. There's a defense gem with 25% resist, 13% crit rate, and crit damage. And then there's an attack gem with 27% crit rate. So she's full on bruiser build right there. She is pushing nearly max crit rate and 60% resist almost on her own set, which is pretty solid in terms of rolls. But in terms of enhancements, she has attack, defense, crit rate, crit resist, HP, and also crit damage. Okay, man. Okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down over here. Alright, moving on next, so let's take a go at the Woodmons over here. We have some mini cat action. There's some Radices, there's some Rudolphs, there's all kinds of stuff going on here. There's even a Wood Gatito, a Wood Pip, a Wood Scheherazade, who's in the process of getting Evo'd, aka the Evo 2. But she's on a broken set right here. She's pushing 48% resist, so a work in progress for sure. Wood Marlin, there's no gems on him. Plenty of Wood Hanas, but no gems on them. Wood Starov, no gems on him. Wood Kana on a broken set, but Wood Kana is garbage, so we're going to move on. Wood Yuki, broken set right there. Wood Nightmare though, she is totally dinked out. Enhanced, she's on a protection set. Let's take a look. HP gem of 13.5% defense up there and 14% resist. Another HP gem of 34% resist up there. Spicy. Spicy. And then another HP gem with 18% resist and then 14% defense. Enhancements wise though, she has attack, defense, HP, defense, and then some crit resist. So more of a balanced-ish build, but I'm sure the attack wasn't completely intended. Or maybe it was, because her main selling point is just being super duper annoying, but solid, dude, solid. There's also a Wood Enkidu. He's pushing 84% resist and then 36% resist, not 36. I'm getting confused now. He's pushing 84% crit rate and then 36% resist. My B, dude, my B. There's a Garuda over here, a broken set. He's sitting at 74% resist. He's sitting at 74% crit rate and then nearly 50% resist. My mind is going to nothingness. Wood Marlin over here though, this one is fully enhanced, so let's take a look at him. He's on a broken set. He's sitting at over 100% crit rate though. And let's take a look at these gems. So there's a crit rate gem with 11% crit damage. There's an attack gem with 22% crit damage. And then there's a crit damage gem of 19.5% crit rate. So crit damage, attack, crit rate. Okay. Enhancements wise though, there's crit damage, there's resist, attack, defense, crit rate, and some HP. He does have 2 books applied to him, so he is in the process of being booked up. Just a work in progress because you have no control over the books that you get. There's a Wood Mushi, but I'm not going to get into Wood Mushi because it's Wood Mushi. There's also another Hana. which that puts him already at 4 Hanas before we've even made it to the top. Wood Cherry on a Gem of Magi set. There's a defense gem with 14% recovery, a HP gem with 14% resist and 12.5% recovery and 21.5% defense, and then another HP gem with 21% resist and 14% recovery. And she's based off HP, isn't she? For both her skills? Yep. Okay. I was making sure. In terms of her enhancements, though, there's some defense, HP, recovery, resist, and crit resist. So I am 100% sure she's being used in the Nat 3 League. There's no way she isn't, because why else would she exist in this state? I mean, come on now. There's some mini cats over here. One is sitting at 80% resist on a broken set. Let's take a look, though. Recovery gem with 15% resist, HP gem with 16% resist, and then a defense gem with 13% resist. So he is on the classic recovery HP defense. I was just being nosy and checking. But defense enhancement, resist, and also recovery. There's also a Wood Fibian, a second Wood Scheherazade, but this one's at Evo 3. She's on a Gem of Protection set, sitting at 47% resist. But there's a HP gem with 18.5% defense, defense gem, and then another HP gem with some recovery up there as well. Okay. Moving on, next though, we do have the baby girl Wood Hanas, or Hanas, whatever the heck you want to call her. But this one's on a recovery set. She's rocking a defense gem with 19% resist and 12.5% recovery, a HP gem with 14% recovery and 18% resist, and then a recovery gem. So once again, HP, defense, recovery, and this one has 18% resist up there, as well as 26.5% defense. This one's on a broken set, but we have the gist of that. There's an Evo 3 Wood Jormungandr. He's on a broken set, sitting at 65% resist and nearly 60% crit rate as well. There's the defense gem with 13% resist and 21% crit rate. There's the HP gem, 9% resist and 13% crit rate, as well as 19% defense. And then another defense gem with 13% crit rate and 23% resist. I wonder if he's in use though. I mean, obviously he doesn't have to use him, but at least in terms of B10, I'm not sure what the higher levels are, because Caglio isn't ready until I get Jacka. But I'm interested to see how Wood Jormungandr will perform at a higher level of golems, at least, on a more DPS based set. I'm just curious. That's a good science experiment. We have Wood Indra over here though, coming in with the heat. He does have the SP Siphon Super Ascension skill, the little combat prowess, so keep that in mind. But he is also on a, what is it called, the healer set? Yep. So he has an HP gem with 15% crit rate, 16% resist, and then 13% defense up there. Beautiful subs. There's another HP gem with 27% crit rate, 8% resist, and 15% attack. Once again, some good subs. And then a defense gem with 26.5% crit rate and then 17% resist. Okay. Enhancements wise though, once again, defense, there's attack, there's also resist, crit resist, and HP. So a nice balanced sort of enhancements there to kind of round out his stats, even though he's already a balanced type. Fully booked up as well. Fully booked up. So stun goes to 100% chance for 2 turns. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. That is a smiley face Wood Indra for sure. Next up though is Wood Garuda. He is on a broken set, but he is at max crit rates. So he has a crit rate gem with 16% resist and 20.5% defense. There's an attack gem with 19% crit rate and then 20% resist. And then there's a crit damage gem. So what was that? Crit rate, attack, crit damage. Okay. Okay. And that crit damage gem has 13.5% crit rate up there. And then 12.5% defense. Enhancements wise though, there's attack, defense, HP, resist, and also some crit rate. Okay. Okay. Fully booked up too. And that's the smilers for sure. Coming up next though, we do have Wood Victoria. She is on a protection set. She's rocking 83% resist though, and then 57% crit rate. Probably not intended, but she is fully booked up, so her stuns are going to 2 turns, at least for her 3-star skill, and then for her 5 stars, 1 turn stun, 100% chance. Okay. Gem wise though, she has an HP gem on her with 13% resist, a defense gem with 22% resist, and then another defense gem with 15% resist. Not really indicating crit rate because it doesn't matter in this situation. She's just at a CC. There's a Wood anew. He seems not to be touched at the moment though, so I'll bypass him. Wood Banshee on a Bastion set. She's nearly max crit rate though. Defense gem with 15% crit rate. Crit rate gem with 13% crit damage up there and 15% defense. And then another defense gem. So what was that? Defense crit rate. Moving on. And then last but not least is Wood Jean to go ahead and top things off here. She's sitting at 84% resist, and then also 51% crit rate, which I do believe with Stalker, yep, goes up to 50%. So she's at max crit. Enhancements wise though, she has attack. There's some resist, crit resist, defense, crit rate, and also some crit damage. So a good mix of everything. And I did forget to look at Banshee, so let's go ahead and pull that up real quick too. Banshee had crit damage, resist, attack, HP, defense, and crit resist. Once again, more of a balanced approach in terms of enhancements. Not a bad idea at all. But she has an attack gem of 13.5% defense and 19% HP. A crit damage gem with 22.5% attack up there and 24% resist. And then a attack gem. So what was the first one? So she's at attack, crit damage on a protection set. So she does have a little bit more tankiness to her. That is absolutely splendid, my dude. Splendid. Alright, moving on next though, you guys. Let's take a look at his water Mons. So there's a whole bunch of Ataris. There is a Water Siegfried, Water Enkidu, Water Gilga, Yuki, 25 million Water Bass. My goodness. More than me, boys. More than me. There's Crowhook. But that one's not gemmed up, but he is level 50. Another Water Siegfried, but that one's variant. Bast. Is there another one? I thought there's going to be one more Bast. I was about to say, my goodness, dude. This dude is a Bast alcoholic. But let's take a look at which one. Which one? I'll do this one. Why not? But let's take a look at the Bast, though. This one's at Evo 2. The other ones are at Evo 3, so maybe the Evo 3 would be a better example. But this one's sitting at 60% resist, no enhancements, but she has a defense gem on her with 14.5% recovery and 16% resist. There's an HP gem with 24.5% recovery and 12% attack. And then there's a recovery gem with 12.5% defense up there. So HP defense recovery. Not super duper crazy about that, but if it works, it works. There's also a Water Shiva, almost fully booked up. He's sitting at a 56% resist though. So I'm not sure if he's still being used or not, or if at one time that he was. I'm assuming he was though. 2 Water Curas. One is on a broken set. The other one has literally nothing on her. But let's take a look at the gems though. So there's an HP gem with 12% resist and 12% recovery. There's a defense gem with 13% resist and 15% HP up there. And then there's a recovery gem. So HP defense recovery. And this one's sitting at 16% resist and then 14.5% defense. No enhancements and no books on her either. There's another Bast. Let's take a look at her though, just for science. A recovery gem with 26% crit rate up there. Very, very weird champ. Defense gem, 12% recovery. And then an HP gem with 21% defense. Okay, nothing extravagant, but maybe there's certain Basts that he used and there's certain ones that he does not. There's a Snow White, but she's not completely gemmed up, but she is at Evo 3. There is a Evo 3 Water Hades with some enhancements on him, but he's rocking over 100% crit rate as well as 77% resist on a protection set. So he has an attack gem of 14% resist and 11.5% crit rate. Another attack gem of 15% crit rate and then 22% resist as well as 12.5% defense. And then a crit rate gem with 20% attack. So he's trying to get some damage out of him, as well as also getting some survivability, and books are up on this bad boy as well. His defense down is fully booked up, and his courageous strike is almost done. But that puts his defense down at 80% chance for 3 turns, which is pretty solid IMO. But he has attack, crit rate, and attack on him at the moment. 2 water Drakas. This one's carrying max resist though, so let's take a look at her. There's a defense gem with 14% resist. There's another defense gem with 13% resist. And then there's a HP gem with 25% resist. So HP defense. Okay. No enhancements though. There is a water Garuda that's sitting at Evo 3 on a broken set. 62% crit rate. Then next up is Water Varana. This one's Evo 3 as well. She's sitting at 56% resist as well as 86% crit rate with only 1 enhancement at the moment. Let's take a look at these gems though. There's an attack gem of Ruin with 20.5% crit rate. There's a little bit of crit damage as well as 14% resist. There's another attack gem of Leech. This one is 20% defense up there as well as 14.5% crit rate. And then a crit rate gem with 22% resist. So it looks like her goal, Varana's goal, at least not SG's goal, but Varana's goal is to get herself on this Leech set, and maybe he's in the process of getting that done. A super evoed, almost booked up Water Odin. I am very, very much interested. She has what? The immunity? Yep, 30% chance for immunity to proc. And erase all negative effects. But she's on an intuition set, rocking max resist, which is 85%, as well as 75% crit rate. Enhancements wise, she has crit rate, defense, HP, attack, crit resist, and once again some more HP. Gem wise though, she has a defense gem with 15% resist, a little bit of crit rate. There's a HP gem with 15% resist, and then 13.5% crit rate and 13% defense. And then a HP gem once again with 22% resist and 15% crit rate. So HP defense, super duper high crit rate, though it doesn't really matter. It just worked out that way, and yeah, that's her. Moving on, next though we have another Water Varana. This one's at Evo 3 as well on a Gem of Valor set. So she has an attack gem with 14.5% crit rate, a crit rate gem with 13.5% defense, and then another attack gem with 20% crit rate. Still good rolls though, over 100 for her crit rate, and her attack side is still pretty decent. Okay. 2 water Kiras. One is unbooked at the moment though, not unbooked but like ungemmed and everything like that, but they should be on like HP defense recovery. There is another Bast, I just missed it, but this one is variant, and she's on a broken set, but she's rocking 64% resist. So there's a defense gem of 17% recovery, a recovery gem, and then an HP gem. Decent amount of recovery on her. Okay. She does have some books applied to her as well. This dude and his freaking books, man. How do you have these many Nat 5 books? But moving on though, we do have 2 Water Harleys. One's similar, one's not. One has more resist, so we're going to take a look at her. But fully booked up. Enhancements wise though, she's rocking crit damage. There's some resist, attack, defense, and also some crit rate. Let's take a look at the gems though. There's a crit rate gem with 15% resist and 15% defense. There's an attack gem with 7.5% crit rate, and then another attack gem. So crit rate, attack, and this one's rocking 12% defense and 15% resist. Nothing wrong with that. You can't go hard on every single Astromon. It's just not possible. Shelly over here rocking max resist. Obviously, just going to be built super duper tanky. We don't need to really go into that because we just want Shelly to number 1, get no orbs, and to number 2, just spam defense down. There is a Water Yaksha over here. She's on a broken set, but she does have some books onto her. Water Indra, he does have 5 books for Indra, which I do recall him talking about in the past. I have 0 Indra books, which is kind of sad because I do have a Dark Indra and I can't help him reach his maximum potential because I get books for Hades. But anyways, this one's on a broken set with max crit rate. So there's a crit rate gem of 14% crit damage and 14% attack. There's an attack gem of 19.5% crit rate. And then there's another attack gem with 17% crit rate and 10% resist. Okay. Enhancements wise though, there's defense, attack, and crit damage. Perfectly fine, dude. Perfectly fine. Crowhook, he's on a Zeal set. This is what we've been waiting for, boys. Fully booked up. Enhanced. No super ascension skill yet, but I'm sure in the future, just for the memes, why not, dude? Another Nat 3 League killer. Anyways, on his Gem of Zeal set, he has a defense gem up here, rocking 18% resist and then 14.5% crit rate, as well as 10% crit damage. There's a crit rate gem with 13.5% attack and then 16% resist. And there's a HP gem. So HP, what was that? HP, crit rate, defense. Okay. And 16% resist up there, as well as 19.5% attack. And the Gem of Zeal set bonus is attack and crit rate bonus as well. And Crowhook naturally doesn't have that much attack, but with the Nat 3 League boosting his attack up, I can see why this is a great option, especially with him addressing his super duper dirt nasty low defensive stat, even in comparison to his attack stat. It's important to push survivability, but somehow SG has not only pushed survivability to its maximum with 84% resist, but the boy is at max crit for his Hunter to activate, and his stats all around are still pretty darn decent as a Nat 3. That is a poggers. Coming in hot though, next is another Water Indra. He has a crit rate gem up here on his Intuition set, rocking 13% crit damage and 14% attack. There's an attack gem with 6.5% crit rate, which is very small, and then 16% resist, and then a crit damage gem with 27% resist, 14.5% attack and defense. So even spread on those stats. Enhancements wise though, there's crit rate, defense, crit damage, resist, and then also some more attack to get a little bit more damage out of that boy. And this one's two variant Indras, dude. Wow. Coming in next though, we do have a super ascended Water Varana, and this chick is at Evo 3. So let's take a look at these gems of Intuition. So there's 18% resist on this attack gem. There's a crit damage gem with 15% attack and resist, and a little bit of crit rate. And then a crit rate gem. So crit rate, attack, crit damage, and this one's rocking 26.5% defense as well as 15% attack. Enhancements wise though, she has attack, crit damage, crit rate, a little bit of resist, and some HP. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And her Super Ascension skill, Blessing of the Fallen, grants a 100% chance when falling in battle to restore 40% of allies' HP. Okay. She's pretty darn solid. Coming in next though, we have a Water Succubus, who I'm just going to skip. She is on an Intuition set, but her crit rate isn't maxed, and I do have some questions, not for SG, but questions of her performance in the event that you could somehow get her crit rate max without having to have a crit rate gem, or very close to max, how she would perform. But I'll save that for a casually account video perhaps. Moving on next though, we have Water Wildfang. That was super duper quick, but she's on the Gem of Healer set, fully booked up. For her Super Ascension skill though, she has Shared Determination, which grants a 50% chance every 2 turns to restore 25% of all allies' SP when attacking. It's pretty nasty. Good roll though. Good roll. Gem wise though, she's sitting over here with an HP gem with 22% resist. Next up is another HP gem of 13% resist and 13.5% defense. There's 21% crit rate, but she's not there for damage. Then a defense gem, so HP defense, I do believe, with 17% resist up there. There's attack, crit rate, and also HP. Okay. And then there is, last but not least, Water Victoria over here. Super Ascended, of course, going ham, fully booked up, super evoed as well. Let's take a look at her Unwavering Resolve skill though, which grants a 40% chance when attacked to restore 20% of her own HP. So once again, more survivability. She is coming in hot on a Zeal set as well, rocking 85% resist as well as 100% crit rate. But there's an attack gem with 20% crit rate up there and 17% resist. There's another attack gem with 20.5% crit rate and then 14% resist. How are you getting these same rolls on these gems, man? What the heck is going on here? She's on triple attack with 22% resist up there as well as 14% crit damage. Attack. Wow. Yeah. Wow. There's some resist, crit damage, crit rate, attack, and then crit resist as well as HP. Beautiful, dude. I honestly did not think that she was on triple attack. That is super duper poggers. Alright, last but not least, you guys, we have the Fire Mons over here. Whole bunch of cannelings. Dude is getting ready for that canneling rebirth, man. There's some Fire Geminis in here as well. Two variant Fire Siegfrieds. What the heck? There's also a Fire Jiang Wuchi, a Fire Griffin, Fire Tanya, Fire Gemini, Chloe, I believe. Yep, that's Chloe. Sea Star, Mr. C over here, and then Shinobi as well as Pixie and Poseidon. So let's go ahead and take a look at these bad boys. So she's on an HP Siphon set, which she's in the process of being leveled up. No books on her. Well, let's take a go at her real quick. So there's a crit rate gem, defense gem, and then a HP gem. Very curious to what he has in store for that one Fire Sea Star, because he does have two already super evoed and built up, but it looks like he's working on a third one. But here, over here for Mr. C, I don't know why I said here like 35 times, but don't hate me for that. But anyways, moving on, there's an HP gem with 13.5% recovery up there. A recovery gem with 14% resist and 12.5% defense. And then a defense gem with 13% HP up there. No enhancements, but only Evo 2. Next up though is Fire Shinobi on a broken set, but he's sitting at 100% crit rate. There's a crit rate gem with 14% crit damage. 13.5% resist, actually 13% resist on that one, on that attack gem, and then a crit damage gem with 29% crit rate. So crit damage, attack, crit rate. Gotcha. He's in the process of evo-3ing this Mr. C though. This bad boy is on a Gem of Salvation set, rocking 13.5% defense and 13% recovery. On an HP gem, a recovery gem, nothing extravagant over there, and then another HP gem. So HP recovery, and this one's 15% resist and 13.5% defense. My only thing about freaking Mr. C though is his recovery stat is like very, very terrible. So I would love to see more recovery on that guy, but I'm not sure how well he performs on SG's team. That is just my own personal preference. Fire Pixie though, fully booked up. She's on a broken set. She's rocking what is that? 58% resist, HP gem, 14% recovery, and then 13% resist. Defense gem with 18% attack and then 10.5% recovery, and then a recovery gem. So HP, defense, recovery, pretty standard here. There's a Fire Poseidon Evo 3, but no gems on him at all. There is an Evo 3 Mr. C over here coming in looking super duper sucked up in that little photo of his. He's on a broken set with a HP gem with 20.5% defense and then nearly 20% recovery. There's a recovery gem up there. And then there's a recovery gem. Okay, okay. This is more what I was thinking of, but I think he was waiting until he was at least Evo 3, so his stats could round out a little bit more before he did that. But only one enhancement on him, so I'm not going to really take time to take a look at that. But here's another Fire Poseidon at Evo 3. No books, but sitting at max crit rate. He has a crit damage gem on him with 19% attack. Crit rate gem, 13.5% defense. And then a attack gem of 12.5% crit rate and then 16% resist. So what was that? Attack, crit damage, and then crit rate. Enhancements wise though, he has crit damage, there's attack, defense, crit rate, and then some HP. Moving on next though, we have Fire Artemis. She's almost fully booked up. She's on a broken set, but she's sitting at 84% resist, boys. Enhancements wise though, she has HP, there's crit resist, some attack, some crit rate, and also defense. HP gem of 26% resist. Another HP gem of 16% resist. And then a defense gem. So HP defense, making her super duper tanky. And this one has 8% resist and some crit rate, but it doesn't really matter at this point in time. But she could definitely be a F word to fight, and having her built with HP defense is very, very reasonable, and making sure that she is annoying as possible. And with her being fully booked up for her 5-star skill at least though, her stun goes to 95% chance for 2 turns. I don't know why it's 95. That is just bizarre to me that they have like a 5% for like stun, but it is what it is. But that is pretty potent. Moving on next though, we have one of the Evo 3 Shinobis over here, sitting at max crit rate on a ruin set. So there's an attack gem of 25.5% crit rate. There's a crit rate gem of 22% attack. And then also a crit damage gem of 13% crit rate up there. Enhancements wise, there's crit damage, attack, defense, crit rate, and also some HP. Okay. This one's on an intuition set, but I think the other guy is vastly superior. Actually, this one does have more attack though, but that one has more crit damage. Oh well, there's some more up here, so we'll skip past him. There's Fire Draka on an intuition set. There's an attack gem, attack, HP, attack. There's another Fire Draka though, so maybe he's holding back. There's Wildfang, I do believe from earlier of the Golems run though. She is on an SP Siphon set, triple square master race, fully booked up, obviously super evoed. Enhancements that she's rocking is resist, attack, HP, defense, and also some crit damage. But she has a gem of Siphon set on her. This attack gem has 21.5% crit rate. This attack gem has 14% crit rate as well as 12% crit damage. And then this one is a crit rate gem with 23% resist, which she is sitting at 81% resist and then 100% crit rate on an SP Siphon set. My god. That is beautiful. Fire Kira, she's over here on a broken set. She should be HP defense recovery, but there's a chance he could have slipped something in here that I did not catch. Same thing with Cherry. I mean, even though she's a defender type, there's an HP gem up there with some resist and as well as some defense. There's a recovery gem, and then a defense gem with some resist and recovery as well, which is what I was implying. Then there's also a Fire Valk, but she seems to be on a broken set and maybe not in use at this moment in time, because that nearly fully booked up Fire Artemis. That makes that stun quite beautiful, because what does her stun go to? It's one turn for 90% for her 5-star skill. Definitely not worth the books, IMO. Fire Leo is over here on a, what is this? Ferocity set? Crit rate, crit damage, and then attack. I don't think he's in use. He's not even super evoed. He's not even fully booked up. We're going to keep it moving. Firewood Kong over here, no books, but he's sitting at 92% crit rate. One enhancement for attack, but there's an attack gem of 23% resist up there. Another attack gem with 21% crit rate up there. And then a crit rate gem with 14% crit damage as well as 21% defense. Moving on, next though we have a Evo 3 Fire Shinobi. Once again, I think this is the third one. Enhancements wise though, there's crit damage, attack, crit rate, and also some more attack on a broken set, but he does have max crit rate. So there's an attack gem with 17.5% defense as well as 12% crit rate. There's a crit rate gem and then attack gem. So crit rate, attack, attack, and this one is 20% crit rate on that bad boy. Okay. Fire Draca is on a broken set. 2 books though, not 2 books, but 4 books in total, getting that puncture damage up as well as morale boost. But let's take a look at that 90% crit rate as well as 37% resist, which doesn't really matter as long as Draca doesn't get hit, which this Draca is being used offensively, so once again, resist isn't that big of an issue. He doesn't need Draca as a hidden to make you curse. But anyways, there's a crit rate gem of the Gem of Indomitability. HP 10%, 21% attack, as well as 11% crit damage. There's another attack gem with 13.5% crit rate, as well as 15% crit damage. And then there's another attack gem. So crit rate, attack, attack, and 12.5% crit rate up there, as well as 18% crit damage. Enhancements wise though, there's crit damage, attack, defense, attack, and also some crit resist. Okay. Perfectly fine. I mean, Draca is literally there for puncture. If you can get some more damage off of it, that's perfectly fine. But as long as Draca can do its job, who cares, man? Perfectly fine with me. Firewood Kong is over here rocking an intuition set though. 1 book on him, and enhancements wise, he's sitting at crit damage, defense, attack, HP, crit rate, and then some more attack. But for his Gem of Intuition set, he has 20.5% crit rate and 14% crit damage on his attack gem. There's another attack gem with 19.5% crit rate as well as 12% defense. And then there's another attack gem with 20% crit rate. So triple attack at 100% crit rate. I mean, that's not crit damage attack attack, but that's better than crit rate attack attack if you have the same amount of crit rate. Yeah, it's pretty solid. Moving on though, we have Fire Victoria. She's super evoed, fully booked up. She's sitting at 84% resist. Enhancements wise though, there's crit resist, HP, defense, attack, some more HP, and also some crit rate. So there's a defense gem with 22% resist. There's another defense gem with 14% resist. And then there's HP gem just to round her off with 15% resist. Okay. Nothing extravagant, you guys. As we've seen through the whole entire account review, like there's been certain Mons that are like super duper poggers, and the rest is all within reason. And SG still does a lot more damage in Titans than even what I do. Not saying I'm a Titans expert, but you don't have to have super duper amazing pogger sets in order to do damage or feel like you're good at the game. SG is perfectly capable of excelling past me and every single thing that he can do. And you can see with his gems especially, there's nothing super duper amazing about all of his Mons, but they all are built with some form of care and some form of, okay, this Mon is going to do this job and only this job, as well as a whole bunch of Nat 5 books. But, you know, you can perform just as well as anyone else as long as your gem game, not even saying that they're on a complete set, is on point. That's it, boys and girls. That's all you need. Moving forward though, Fire Succubus. I hate Fire Succubus, so we're moving on. Next up though is one of the 2 super evoed Fire Sea Stars, fully booked up. Let's take a look at her Gem of Ruin set though. So there's a crit rate gem up here with 20% resist. There's an attack gem with 20% resist as well. A little bit of crit rate, 13% crit rate on that gem, and then there's an HP gem. So HP, attack, crit rate, I do believe, and that one has 20.5% attack as well as a little bit of crit rate and some resist. Crit rate, HP, okay, yep, that's right. Enhancements wise though, she has defense, attack, HP, crit rate, crit damage, and also some more attack. I haven't really participated in that 3 league, but I'm inferring that she probably hits like an F word, which is why she's like that. Especially with almost max crit rate, he could run a crit rate lead if he pleases, but with Predator sitting at 40% on Ruin, and also the Nat 3 league buff, very, very interested to see how she performs. Maybe I should invest in one for science. You got me curious now, man. You got me curious. And then there is another Fire Sea Star, once again fully booked up. Enhancements wise, there's crit resist, crit damage, defense, crit rate, and also some attack. She's sitting at 83% resist and then over 100% crit rate as well. On the Gem of Longevity set, a little bit of resist, 16% crit damage and 14% crit rate. Crit rate gem with 14% attack and then 19.5% defense. And then an HP gem with 12.5% crit rate and 23% resist. And then longevity does give you an additional 10% resist and HP. And what was that? Attack HP crit rate. Okay. So same as the other one, just a different set. One is built a little bit more offensively, you could argue, while this one's built a little bit more defensively. And then last but not least is Fire Yuki. She's fully booked up in Super Evo'd. She's rocking 60% resist and over 100% crit rate. Her enhancements though are crit damage, attack, defense, HP, crit rate, and then also attack. She's on a broken set and she has an attack gem sitting over here with 22% recovery. I figured I would mention that because why not? 14.5% crit rate. There's a flat HP gem of armor on her with 14.5% crit rate and 13% crit damage, and then a crit rate gem. So crit rate, HP, attack on this baby girl, and this one's 22% resist. So nothing super duper amazing. Enhancements wise, I can't remember. I just somehow forgot if I went over this. But if I didn't go over this, just a fail safe real quick. But nothing spectacular, but I'm sure that she does her job. Her main point though is survivability and making sure that she applies defense down, so it's not like you can really go ham on her build unless she was on Gem of Ruin, which once again she's there to make sure that she debuffs first before doing any damage. But I would say that's it, you guys. We've covered everything over here in SG's account, which was a super duper long review. But I do want to give a shout out to SG for allowing me to take a look at his account. This guy is an absolute madman, especially when it comes to PvP. Very, very good player. If you guys ever need any help or insight into PvP, especially, you need to go ahead and hit up SG because he is a smiley face in my opinion. There's nothing else though that we can really take a look at here, unless we're just going to be nosy, which he has some clan points, there's some league points, and obviously he doesn't have enough crystals. But if you're curious to see where he's getting all of these Nat 5 books from, it's going to be from here, obviously from pulling. I don't think SG really focuses too much on gleams or the light and dark scam eggs or the heroic secret eggs because he has plenty of Nat 5s already. So he's going to be dumping them gems over here into getting some more not 4-star skill books, but 5-star skill books. So if you want to power up the Nat 5s that you have in order to get peak performance out of them, make sure you can kind of balance it if you want and do maybe gleams 1 month or gleams 1 festival and then the next festival do books. But I personally have been focusing a little bit more on skill books as of late because I've just given up on my amount of Nat 5s that I'll never ever be able to get all to Evo 3 because I constantly pull more. But it's a slow process, and hopefully I can get some Indra books one day. But that's not the point of this video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I apologize for the rant, which I honestly don't apologize for. But once again, shout out to SG for allowing me to do this. If you guys want an account review done, not of this nature, but just a basic account review done, make sure you join the Discord, which is in a link in the description below. Subscribe if you haven't already. That way you don't miss out on the latest and the greatest in MSL. Make sure you come over to the Discord though and hang out though, because even if you don't want a account review done, there is a bot there where you can actually access information on the Astromons and the Golems, etc., Colossi, Dimensional Dungeon, Elemental Tower of Chaos. You can access basically everything without having to click on the game, especially if you're farming. But yep, that's pretty much it for this video, you guys, and yeah, see ya.